Hey everyone, GXBL here with a brand new Power Rangers discussion in regards to talking about Power Rangers Cosmic Fury. And just to get right into the chase, I do want to mention that this will be a two-parter video, unlike I did with the likes of, well, despite not being Power Rangers related, but just to give you the bare minimum, what I'll be doing here is that this will be a two-parter video. Uh, Talking about the cons and the pros of what I liked and disliked, what I loved and what I hate. Alright? And so I already did this with the likes of My Adventures with Superman. And just let you know, I just very dislike that show when it comes to being a Superman fan. But when it comes to being a Power Rangers fan, I was actually surprised of what I saw here. So I actually surprisingly liked this season, despite a little bit of hiccups here and there. So I do want to show that I am trying to be fair and honest here. So I will be starting off talking about with the cons. So going into the cons, one of the first few things I do have an issue with is that this is a 10 episode finale season of apparently not just only for Dino Fury, but the very beginning of Power Rangers when it started off at Mighty Morphin and now going up all the way to here. And the reason I'm saying that this is an issue is because other Power Ranger seasons, way before the Nick Saban era, is that like when it comes to looking at the Disney era and then looking into like the classic Saban era, is that like, hey, we had like tons of episodes to still flesh out the characters and to still flesh out the overall story. This right here, I feel like I wouldn't say that it should be like at least 20 episodes or so, but at least still flesh out some other story elements that they put out here. And especially what doesn't help is that well, this is another con here, is that they crammed everything into one episode, in which, not gonna lie though, while it may be a surprising setup to like flesh out a little bit of story elements to still catch us of what's going on, I still think it was a little bit undercooked overall though. So what I'm saying here is that like they should have at least put out at least 16 episodes and maybe at least introduce like maybe one or two Power Rangers from different seasons. That way it could be like a much more satisfying finale instead of just seeing like three different Power Rangers from like other seasons beforehand. So yeah, that's what I wanted to get out of the way. While I love seeing Lord Zed back in action, I gotta say they did him a little bit dirty in this season because I'm like, hey, the moment you see him all fully evolved and charged up and he means business, he gets backstabbed by these other particular villains that they introduced. So yeah, they introduced some other villains that apparently they are the ones that freed Lord Zed from his crystal prison from the Morphin Masters dimension. I don't know how they did this, but these are the squid-like villains that they're being treated and they're portrayed as an evil corporation from this from the universe they live in. And I'm like, oh, okay then. I'm not too sure if I'm too thrilled about that. So I was kind of conflicted up on them, and of course I already hated one of the characters, in which this CEO villain's own daughter, who is kind of useless and being treated as a tech talker or whatever, and I'm just like, yeah, get this character out of my face. I do not want to see her at all. Like, my goodness gracious. But back with Lord Zed though, I'm like, I love Lord Zed. I wanted to see him unleash his unbridled fury instead of just only like one Rangers, but in a full team of Rangers, right? And of course, like, hey, Lord Zed, like, he got reverted into a good human being, but now he's been brought back due to like Scrozzle from Beast Morphers to bring him back alive. And apparently, someone also thought it would be best to like control Lord Zed, and I'm like, well, control Lord Zed? No. Lord Zed wants to control you. Yeah. So I did love how he was portrayed, at least in the Dino Fury seasons, but in Cosmic Fury, while again I do love seeing his presence, but man, they done him dirty just because the squid villains backstabbed him, and that just because he got all fully powerful and charged up, hey, didn't do not much with that, and I'm like, "Ugh." I wanted to see him do much more than that. I really, really want. I'm not kidding when I say that, okay? And the other thing I do want to mention is that, like, okay, so we finally got our first ever Orange Ranger, and it's Izzy, the green female ranger. Uh, that's her a girlfriend, and I wasn't like too crazy on how they handled Fern. I'm like, okay then. The one thing I at least like, I know this should be at least in the pros, but I'm gonna have to mention this. I do like the chemistry between Solon and Fern. And just let you know, Solon is a cybernetic dinosaur that talks. Uh, I really did like that, but the way how she attained her powers, it doesn't feel like she actually earned it. It felt like she was just given to them, just for like the plot convenience. And I wish that was done way better. So I think that's why I mentioned it here. The fact that, like, yeah, I kind of like it. So yeah, while I may like between the chemistry of Solon and Fern, I just wish they would still develop them a little bit more, and then to like have Fern to earn the right of being a Power Ranger. I think that's what I'm trying to get at there. And the other thing I do want to mention is that, like, let me see, what's the word I'm looking for here? Oh yeah, the moment they brought back Zato, yeah, they had to put him on the sidelines just for a moment, and then for him to actually come back in action. And the other thing I kind of dislike is the fact that, like, every time he's trying to use like his new powers, his life force is being drained, which means he has less time to be around the team. And I'm like, really? Like, come on! See, he's also one of my favorite Rangers, one of my new favorite ones, and I felt like they could have done way better with him. But I still like the fact that, like, at least they still retain his personality and his growth when it comes to being on Earth. And the other thing I feel very conflicted and mixed on, which I'm putting as a con here, is because I'm like, so, a spoiler warning, if you haven't seen Cosmic Fury at all, or even Planto or whatever, is that, like, apparently this person isn't really Zato, but Ion's very image of this person who is trying to, like, look like Zato. And apparently the hints are there, and especially the way how it ended for the season. I'm like, wait a minute, so that was Zordon then? Like, okay then. Was surprised, but I don't know how I feel about that. So I'm just like, huh? Like, I don't know about that. Like, I don't know. It's just that, like, Zordon is a very important and essential character for the Power Rangers from the very beginning, and for him to, like, make a reappearance in the likes of, like, Zato's appearance is, like, I don't know about that. I don't know if that's, like, a good idea to reintroduce Zordon, and especially, like, just that you guys know, they are going forward into a reboot. So this is why I'm kind of, like, iffy on this. Alright, so I don't know if I'm kind of thrilled that they mentioned and so the Zordon in a certain extent. So I think that's all I have to say when it comes to the cons, actually. So yeah, if you guys are thinking about, like, what about the humor and dialogue, and I'm like, guys, this is Power Rangers. It's gonna have those types of issues, those types of hiccups. So it's gonna be a hit or miss with any other, like, Power Rangers season, especially what came before. When looking at the next Saban seasons, looking at you, freaking Mega Force and Ninja Steel. My goodness gracious. So yeah, this has been JigsBL saying off right now, and look forward to part 2 when it comes to the pros. If you love and enjoy the content of my channel, please like and subscribe. If you are already a subscriber of mine, please check up on my community tabs for updates, especially for upcoming live streams, so we can have interactive discussions. Furthermore, check out my Newgrounds and or Pixiv profile pages to see my artwork archives. Negative and or positive feedbacks are welcome, but be warned that I do favorite artwork that is not suitable for all ages and come across as uncomfortable. check out my blogs only on Newgrounds to be updated on my whereabouts and upcoming or in progress works. Lastly, please visit my Letterboxd page to read and see my written movie reviews rather than my videos, and see if we can have a discussion there if you disagree with my takes. Welcome to the GXVLverse, and stay tuned.